Karting games have become huge business now, with major franchises such as Sonic, Little Big Planet and of course Mario, all trying to fight for the attention with their vibrant colours and fun and accessible gameplay. And the latest title to be thrown in the mix is Codemasters F1 Race Stars. Using their F1 license, they take the real-life drivers, tracks and cars to create a family-friendly, cartoon-like game to try and emulate the fun people know and love from the likes of Mario Kart.
We wanted to offer people a way of playing a Formula One game that didn't necessarily mean sort of playing a full-on hardcore simulation. There's a load of people who play games a lot more casually, or enjoy playing it in a much more sort of social manner, and we wanted to sort of give them something that that was appropriate for that.
With Race Stars, there are no hardcore sim elements that you'll find in their standard F1 series. Instead, you'll just get easily accessible gameplay aimed at a younger audience or a family that might want to play together. But this doesn't mean they've totally strayed away from what F1 stands for. They are still using the cars, F1 themed power-ups, drivers and of course the tracks.
So the game contains 11 tracks, all taken from sort of this year's championship. So we've got tracks from Germany, Great Britain, we've even got the USA track as well. And all of those tracks are kind of inspired by the real circuits, but not limited to either. So when we did the design for them, what we do is we sort of take what's cool and sort of stand out about those places, the landmarks, famous sections of track, the style of racing that you have. And then we pull all of those things together with kind of like the cultural identity of the country it all takes place in, and then use that to build a track from the ground up that harkens back to the original circuit, but also gives us the scope to do crazy, fantastical, fun things as well.
Just like pretty much all karting games preceding it, one of the main elements is of course power-ups, and as soon as you start playing you'll find a whole roster at your fingertips, from causing heavy rain to teleports and of course the staple boost. But unlike other karting games, you cannot power slide, instead opting to stick to the rules of F1.
So we wanted to give players something a little bit different. We wanted to sort of give them something that felt different from other karting games, and also was kind of sort of sympathetic to the sport of F1. So it's not about power sliding. It's we have like a KERS boost system, whereby on corners you kind of slow down on the way into corners, and then you can sort of boost. You can build up your KERS, which is kind of like you can build up your KERS boost in sort of charge stages as you go around the corner. And if that gives you very much the sort of the kind of feel of F1, sort of slow into the corners and then sort of like rocketing out into the straights. It's very, very sort of sympathetic to how real F1 works. It was always absolutely intended that it be a really fun social experience. So we're supporting 4-way split screen and online, and any configuration of those as well. So you can play 4 people on one console versus 3 people on another, or any kind of configuration you want up to the maximum, which is 12 players.
Overall, the game is looking like a great complement to the F1 brand. While it's not going to get F1 enthusiasts jumping for joy, it is going to showcase the world of Formula One to a whole new audience who wouldn't necessarily be interested in the past. And that can only be a good thing.
Because of the kind of game that it is, I think it can afford to maybe not be quite an annual thing. But then there's a lot of scope to sort of do stuff in different ways. So maybe with DLC, we already have a small amount of DLC planned. We can expand on that as well. I think that's probably maybe more the way we'd look, rather than sort of like releasing a whole new title every year. But I think it very much depends on how well people take to it, and what they look for from us in the future.